Welcome, Libra, to your reading. We're doing the old-fashioned past, present, and potential outcome positions. Let's just go ahead and hop right into the position of past. We have the Nine of Wands and the Five of Cups. You know, sometimes it is easier for us to uphold a story where we don't win. It's easier to give attention to that resistance that comes up when we think about those losses, when we think about those questions, those could have beens. But the nice thing about the Nine of Wands is that we also recognize that, it takes effort and it takes our participation to maintain these narratives. And there's so much interconnectivity that's going on with us harboring these stories. And I feel like for a lot of you, that interconnectivity deals with a direct reflection in your health right now. Like you understood that experiencing grief, experiencing loss is a part of the journey, but there's like this question of like, how do I get out of it? And we may have gone down paths where we were asking that question, but it was easier for us to just stay in it, to stay in the frame, to not look a different way, to not look in a different direction. And I heard, and it costs you. That's how some of you are phrasing it right now. And it costs you to not look in the other direction. Maybe it cost you to uphold beliefs that said you need to stand up in a particular way, present in a particular way, fight in a specified way. It's a strong word that came up, but I heard indoctrination. And that could be for various things, not even just for the religion, okay? It felt like maybe that's where the head wrap is coming in here. We're still trying to figure out, there's still some headaches or some migraines, some pain points around understanding why are we showing up like this? Something's not making sense. Or anytime I try to question, it's my mind that's attacked, or that's the thing that people go after, and it exhausts me to the point to where I just have to retreat and do what I was regulated to do. That's the old story. That's in the past. It's like, how do I figure out a way to ask myself different questions so I don't keep returning to what has been socially familiar, what I don't keep returning to what is, I'll even say spiritually familiar. So I don't keep returning to the same old battle. Still trying to find a way to exercise the same damn boundary. How can I give myself permission to be the person who's been going through this experience? How do I consult with my feelings? How do I listen to myself? Where I'm at? Well, for you, Libra, you have in the present the Fool and the Six of Wands. Looks like we've lessened our load here for sure. So we're choosing more lighthearted perspectives. We're choosing more lighthearted activities, conversations, environments. The Fool is a believer. And you clearly believe in a reality where you win. You win. You believe in a reality where you are happy to be called to arms, because we don't know. That's the thing with the Six of Wands. We're never really sure if the person is on their way to battle or coming back. Either way, though, your perspective, there is this certainty that you have about yourself now. There's this certainty about observation that could also be going on here, that there's a new story of you feeling looked out for. And maybe that's what we were seeing here with the two cups that are behind this person. that protection was always there. And since I have been talking about maybe looking at our spirituality in a different way and trying to practice or reconcile with it in a different way, we have more wands. This can be successfully finding a pathway to celebrate your life, finding a pathway to celebrate your spirituality, finding a practice that resonates with you, that allows for you to experiment with and to follow your excitement, to approach beginnings with a fresh perspective, to see risk as an opportunity, not just as a potential loss. This is a massive perspective shift that you're having around this time, Libra. And it definitely is revolving around your own story. But this also feels like environmental. The way that you're looking at possibly everything is shifting now. You've known the rules you've had intimacy with the rules, and the rules are going to mean different things to all of you. But it's like there's this new sensuality that we're experimenting with. There's this new connection to our bodies, to our voices, to the natural rhythm of things. There's this exploration of intimacy there. Okay, speaking of the body, I am picking up that for enough of you, the story revolves around you like disassociating from your body. Maybe that's where some of the grief is coming in. And if we had a defensive nature that was we're oscillating between the defensive nature and then not feeling secure emotionally, it could, of course, this can allude to a very impactful event from the past, but it looks like you're freeing yourself from the chokehold it's had on you. It's like, yes, this is a heavy time, but I remember that the sun will come out. I remember that I'll be able to breathe again, that I'll be able to be the person who takes a risk on me, who bets on me again, who chooses to live life. For some of you, this is talking about survivor's guilt. The question is like, how can I live on without, or how can I not feel like a bad person? How can I live a life where I don't feel guilty about witnessing or experiencing certain events? And there's just this point in time, Libra, where you just choose yourself anyways. You see the benefit of making that choice. You see the benefit of recognizing that story, but then just choosing a different one. Your experience with victory and success, that becomes very intimate. And of course we will witness it, but there is like this inner secrecy that you have with yourself around this time where it's like, if only y'all knew. But instead of just blurting it out right now, you are just choosing to be the experience of success. You are enjoying what is showing up for you. You're enjoying the spaces that you're choosing to go to. You're enjoying the spaces that are calling you right now. And what I love about this is that in the potential outcome, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. I mean, hello. You are going to know how to protect yourself, how to protect your assets, how to even secure your assets. And again, this is coming back to the body. This is learning how to make sure we don't feed into dissociating from having that connection to ourselves all over again. First, like the Fool can be talking about like a heart-opening experience, and I'm gonna get to what the other side of that sounds like. But heart-opening experiences, I mean, it's like that feeling of release, that experience of relief physically, opening your arms out to reality, opening your arms out to the world and saying, I'm choosing to experience success, and to allow me to live in a body that becomes familiar with that. And that can look like the Four of Pentacles. Saying like, oh, I'm okay. I don't need to feed into what's going on in here, which looks like this. This could also be social norms, social practices, people's opinions, sharp language, thoughts about what you should and shouldn't be doing. This could also be that those of you who are seeing this as a recovery period and you're finally opening back out into the world, there's nothing wrong with, because we have a 5 and a 4 here, and you're definitely leaning more towards this energy within this reading here. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside, the appearances, okay? You're working on a new foundation and structure, and it's worth protecting. So what could happen here is that there's a potential for people to really start to throw some labels at you, try to assign you, try to, shove you into these boxes and categories because you've decided to maybe practice a new faith. You decided to show up differently. You decided to release the reactivity that was living within you because you decided it was more important for you to learn how to live within the frame, live within a body, and to express stories that make you happy, that put you first, that value your safety, and that see your success as a win for the collective and not as a threat to the individual. So the potential here is that you will encounter those who will be envious of what it is that you're rebuilding, what it is that you're doing to invest into yourself, what it is that you're obtaining, what it is that you're attracting to you. And all you're doing is sitting still. But do you see how it's like, I got to get up, I got to get in the field. This is if you don't do X amount of work or have this much experience, then you don't deserve X, Y, and Z. And this is you sitting here capable of being able to challenge that. Because you're out in the field too, but just because both sides are out in the open, in that space of implementation, doesn't mean that you have to do things the way that others are saying you have to do it. This is you feeling secure in the way that you are approaching, in the way that you're securing. Okay? In the way that you are allowing yourself to be accessible or inaccessible. Because that is a huge part of whatever deconstruction needed to happen here, Libra. Like telling your own story, it took reinvention of the self. It took you understanding the rules, but then because of all of that knowledge, it's a lot to break those rules too. But you see, the Fool is completely faithful to the journey. And I think that a lot of you are realizing around this time, the easiest journey, the easiest person to be faithful to can be yourself. It can be. Yes, maybe we've betrayed ourselves before. Maybe we were conditioned to do that. Maybe that fear will still live within us or still come around here and there to not consult yourself. But you've already got a taste of what it's like to say yes, of what it's like to say, I am choosing something else because I can. It's that having the audacity. Having the audacity to know what your options are. And participate in creating a more advantageous experience for you. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with preservation. Nothing wrong with self-preservation. When you remember that there will always be people out there who will have their opinions, will have their say, who will try to dictate how they think you should be, I think that's part of the relief here. is recognizing, oh, we don't have to worry about that anymore. That's not my job anymore. It's not my job to convince people I'm worthy. It's my job to follow my highest excitement. And none of that has to be a part of the narrative. And it looks like you have a potential outcome that says you're going to be really good at just blocking all that excessive noise, not feeding into the illusions, being able to move, because that Four of Pentacles can also talk about you being able to be successful by way of moving silently this time. Moving slowly this time instead of just the reactivity that was expected of you in the past. Okay, Libra? So with that being said, I'm going to end the reading here. I thank you for joining me. I intend that this reading was validating. I intend that you felt seen and heard, and that you feel even more comfortable saying yes to fun, taking your life more seriously by way of taking it less seriously, which is the paradox. It's the paradox, right? And I intend that you are able to take it easy and enjoy what's right in front of you, to enjoy your life as it is today. It sounds cheesy, but I really mean it. And I mean enjoying it despite whatever the current circumstances may be. There's still a way to choose yourself and, charge up so that you can show up for the external when the time is appropriate. But it's really important for you to engage in your recovery right now, Libra. So I'm very happy to see it, and I'm very happy to have been a reader for you. So if you don't know, my name is Mayan, and if you want a private reading from me, the description's in the below. But other than that, do comment whatever your feedback is. If it resonated with you, definitely like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. And please do your best to keep the faith. I look forward to seeing you next time, Libra.